In the gaming world, the level of graphics has reached a completely different point. Some titles deliver a visual quality that's hard to believe at first glance. The level of detail, lighting, and animations has nearly erased the line between games and cinematic experiences. In this list, we take a closer look at the titles that showcase the power of the new generation through their visual presentation. Here are 10 new games with insane graphics that represent this level. Developed by Liquid Swords, the studio founded by Christopher Sundberg, creator of the Just Cause and Mad Max series, Samson is an open-world action game that pushes the limits of the Unreal Engine 5. Set in the fictional and eerie city of Tyndallston, the game stands out for its high technical fidelity. At the heart of the game, Samson McRae, you enter a survival cycle where you constantly feel the pressure of time and debt. Offering cinematic realism visually, the game goes beyond being just an action game, possessing a heavy atmosphere where every decision and every clash has physical consequences. Featuring detailed environmental interactions and harsh combat mechanics, Samson aims to bring a grittier and more realistic perspective to the open-world genre. In this world where vehicles are not just a means of transportation, but also a part of the conflict, a strategic and physics-driven experience awaits you. No Law traps you in a dark cyberpunk universe where technology has reached its peak, but human life has lost its value. The Ascent team abandons the isometric camera and switches directly to a first-person perspective. You don't just survive on the streets of Port Desire. You impose your own rules in this vertical labyrinth from the character's own point of view. The combat system is fast-paced and entirely dependent on reflexes, while every cybernetic module you add to your character is vital for survival in this chaos. On the technical side, neon reflections on damp asphalt and rusted metal textures reflect the cyberpunk atmosphere in its most realistic form from a first-person perspective. Utilizing the power of next-generation hardware, this game places you right in the heart of that chaotic world. Project Spectrum, showcasing the full capabilities of Unreal Engine 5, offers a visually stunning asymmetrical tactical horror shooter experience. Developed by Team Jade, the creators of Delta Force, the game technically masterfully depicts how a mysterious phenomenon called Ember distorts the world. The volumetric fogs, real-time lighting, and particle effects you witness elevate the unsettling atmosphere to its peak. The high-resolution textures and reality-bending visual details used in the environmental design invite you into a surreal nightmare. The strategic use of light and shadow is not just an aesthetic choice, but an integral part of the gameplay. If you are interested in games that impress with their technical capabilities and unconventional visual language, Project Spectrum's striking world definitely deserves your attention. Phantom Blade Zero positions itself as an action role-playing game that stands out with its fast-paced action and combat-focused structure. The game combines the classic hack-and-slash formula with a more technical and timing-based combat system. Players shape their fights by fluidly transitioning between chain attacks, counterattacks, and special abilities. The world of Phantom Blade Zero consists of linear but intensely designed levels supported by a dark narrative and mystical elements. On the story side, themes of revenge, betrayal, and corruption are prominent. The game aims to minimize loss of pace by offering controlled areas instead of an open world. This approach ensures that both the narrative and the gameplay rhythm remain consistently high. With its action-focused nature, Phantom Blade Zero promises a compelling experience for players who trust their reflexes. ExeKiller masterfully blends Wild West and cyberpunk aesthetics, taking you on a unique visual journey. In this game, which reflects the retro-futuristic world of the 1970s, atmospheric lighting created by the scorching sun and dense dust particles come to life on your screen. As you travel through explorable, large-scale areas, you'll encounter high technical fidelity in every rusted metal surface and environmental detail. The fine details in the analog cockpit of your vehicle and the dynamic weather conditions in the exterior fully support the game's visual ambition. The characteristic color palette, dominated by sepia tones, manages to make this dangerous world both melancholic and striking. With its technical capabilities and original art design, ExeKiller is one of the strongest examples proving what next-generation graphics can offer when combined with an artistic vision.
This is for your own good. Event flag for security. Uplink error.
Shit, I'm out.
Please stand.
Crimson Desert is poised to create a new visual revolution in the gaming world with its technically groundbreaking structure. In the world of Pywall, brought to life by Pearl Abyss's own proprietary technology, the level of environmental detail is simply breathtaking. As you progress through this massive map, you will witness everything rendered with physics-based precision, from realistic hair simulations fluttering in the wind to the details of wetness on your character's clothes when they enter the water. The game's fully destructible environment design and dynamic weather systems transform the visual experience from static to a living atmosphere. Especially in massive boss fights, the intense particle effects and real-time lighting that fill the screen make you feel the power of next-generation graphics to your core. With its photorealistic textures and massive scale, Crimson Desert manages to set the bar at the highest level for every player seeking visual perfection. Ballad of Antara raises the bar in the fantasy genre with its visual fidelity and dark atmosphere. A technically flawless journey awaits you, traversing between a corrupted parallel universe and the real world. Volumetric mists representing the dark side of the world, massive enemy designs, and particle effects that fill the screen with every sword strike showcase the power of next-generation hardware to the fullest. The sharp texture quality of the character models and the dynamic light reflections on the armor maintain visual clarity even during the most chaotic moments of the action. The gothic grandeur of the environment designs, combined with masterfully placed shadow play, immerses you in a living, dark tableau. With its superior technical capabilities, Ballad of Antara absolutely deserves to be one of the most ambitious titles on this list. Ananta is positioned as an open-world action role-playing game that blends fantasy elements with a modern city theme. The game stands out with its high degree of freedom of movement, while parkour-like traversal systems and fast-paced combat are central to the gameplay. In Ananta, the city is designed not just as a backdrop, but as an actively used play area. Tall buildings, narrow streets, and wide squares offer different approaches to both exploration and combat. On the story side, mysterious threats and character-driven narratives are prominent, while the mission structure encourages the player to stay constantly on the move. With its approach of combining an open-world structure with an action-packed pace, Ananta is among the ambitious projects that aim to break away from classic role-playing tropes. The Vernyhorn transforms the real world into a digital masterpiece by utilizing all the possibilities offered by photogrammetry technology. By transferring Poland's untouched forests, swamps, and historical textures into the game using 3D scanning methods, the developers are redefining the boundaries of photorealism. As you progress through this world, you will witness how every detail, from mossy tree trunks to muddy grounds, reflects the raw and harsh texture of nature with incredible realism. The hazy atmosphere created by volumetric lighting in the depths of the forest, in particular, elevates the visual depth to its peak. The fluidity of the combat animations, thanks to motion capture work with swordsmen, ensures that technical perfection permeates every moment of the game. Blending its technical prowess with an artistic vision, the Vernyhorn presents one of the most realistic and striking worlds on our list. Project Retrograde stands out as a new project centered around a science fiction theme, aiming to integrate narrative and gameplay. The game intends to present its story, set in the distant future, with a darker and more mysterious tone. Information shared so far suggests that Project Retrograde is action-oriented and strives to create an atmosphere that constantly keeps the player under pressure. The controlled area-based level design allows for a more intense and fast-paced narrative. On the gameplay side, the aim is to intertwine combat, exploration, and storytelling, while environmental details are intended to make the world more believable. Despite being in its early stages, Project Retrograde has managed to capture the attention of science fiction fans thanks to its theme and approach.